As green hydrogen becomes central to cleaning up the steel industry, the highest emitting industrial sector globally, we have to ask, what does a just transition actually look like? Since October 2024, the Heinrich Böll Foundation has partnered with South Africa's largest labor federation, COSATU, to find out.
So our work was prompted by the challenge that we faced, which was one, there was a threat of retrenchments that were brought about by the challenge that the sector general globally is facing. There was the imposition of CBAM, that is carbon border adjustment mechanisms, which part of a green protectionism of some sort from EU, which was threatening the jobs of our members because most of our steel is made out of coal, and it's a well-known fact that the company is one of the high carbon emitters in the country, but also in the continent.
The global conversation usually focuses on overcapacity, but Africa suffers from steel poverty. The continent's share of the world's crude steel production is just 1.5%. Many sub-Saharan African countries have less than 0.5 tons of in-use steel per person for infrastructure, compared to 10 to 15 tons in developed nations. Decarbonization cannot entrench these disparities. It must catalyze socio-economic development.
So we saw the challenge and an opportunity to diversify and do structural transformation in our economy and shift and do decarbonization, also as a pathway to defend our jobs, our productive capacity, but also to grow the sector and address the problems that are facing our country and our continent, such as steel poverty.
There are two main technology pathways to clean steel: electrification and recycling of scrap metal in electric arc furnaces powered by renewable energy, or deploying cleaner technologies like hydrogen-based direct reduced iron.
South Africa, located in the southern tip of the continent, we have available sun. We've got availability of wind. We also have got some deposits on iron ore that actually produces steel. So given the combination of these, we could generally use them to produce better green steel for the world and for the continent.
To avoid leaving developing countries behind, COSATU outlines 4 vital lessons. Decarbonization must go hand in hand with development. It requires strategic choices on where production happens. It demands North-South cooperation, and it needs a global labor strategy.
Yes, there are challenges. There's a threat if you do decarbonization without appreciating the developmental challenges that are facing workers and communities in the country itself. That's the first challenge. The second challenge is that decarbonization by its very nature is expensive. It needs proper financing. So we've been working, cracking our heads around how we could push the state to finance a green just transition in the steel industry and other sectors of the economy. Border carbon adjustment mechanism, we view it as green protectionism that seeks to protect the jobs of workers in the advanced capitalist countries like in Germany or in Europe. We put an alternative perspective to say, rather than to focus on your national interests, we need a global trade union agenda around decarbonization that does not pit workers against one another, because border carbon adjustment mechanism can be good for workers in Europe because it would defend jobs of workers in Europe, but it would undermine jobs of workers in underdeveloped economies like ours.
This model of cooperative specialization provides a win-win scenario. It can create sustainable, value-adding jobs for unemployed youth in the global south, while still protecting the jobs and livelihoods of workers in the global north.
So I think that we need an intelligent conversation between trade unions, in the global south, and trade unions in the global north, wherein we could develop a common agenda, a progressive, labor-led decarbonization agenda, as I've said, that does not pit workers from the north against workers from the south. But also we think that there is a greater need and an urgent need for both of these trade unions to meet, and start to develop exchange programs, to learn, so that we can learn from one another the challenges that were confronted, so that we could develop strategies that would not impact negatively on the labor movement in the south or on the labor movement in the north, so that we have a common strategy that takes the interest of all workers, irrespective of whether they are from the north or from the south.